lock in on before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. On first down, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. The numbers for him from a week ago: 7 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now they'll run it on the toss. Stiff-armed him. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Get it, boy. Get it, boy.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017, and really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Forced out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On first down, it's Watson. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Wilson. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, it's Armstrong. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Lights 59. Hey, come on now, come on now.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. This is Johnson, he's got it. 25 yards that time.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down now, it's Armstrong. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Right.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10 And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. On first down, it's Armstrong. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion. So here's second. And a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Big stop. Got it.
Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. On 3rd down, Wilson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Here's Watson. And now he is just 2 catches away from 1,000 on his career. 998 currently. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, once again, the intended target, but it'll be second down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but it was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now the second down throw on target. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. From the gun on third down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. And the catch made by Johnson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Keyshawn Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
On first down, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now a first down throw. Watson going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Dancing to his left. Johnson's got it complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Offense.
Wait a second, that's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a first down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Devontae Freeman, well over 100 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And it was the visiting Dolphins who were able to get the victory. 35-0 is the final score. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football to wrap up the week between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big-time play there for the Texans. Give him 53 yards on the ground. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around, not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. From the gun, here's Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Watson going to throw again. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And they'll get this down to the 10. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Set. 19. I'm coming.
Now they try the right side here. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. And he stopped immediately there. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. They'll keep it on the ground. Armstrong. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. To throw on 3rd down. Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Just a 4-play drive that time. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Stay with your man.
first and 10. Watson. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Now a handoff looking right. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Watson eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Watson steps away to his left. He'll run it. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Now Watson. And it's complete. Hooper. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On 2nd and inches, Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 5-yard touchdown. As his guys are back within a single score. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Short throw to Dissly. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson got his man complete over the middle. That's Armstrong. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. They'll run on first down. It's Armstrong. The 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay,
and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
50 set. 19. 58 right there. They not ready for this, man. Hard.
Out of the gun, Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts. But even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Let's put that team on the bus.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Armstrong. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back to throw. Flush to his right. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Watch one. Let's go, D. Mike one. 24. Come on.
Now it's Watson. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. And even 40 yards. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target. That'll bring up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. One last throw here for Watson. Being chased out left. He'll try and... Oh, no, he lost the football. And this will go out of bounds. How about that for an ending? Wild finish. Came down to the final play. But on that crazy note, this game is over. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough. Try to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Seahawks, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Houston, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.